Hi everyone, it's Leanne. I would like to talk to you today about how I am preparing for my bilateral mastectomy and breast reconstruction due to breast cancer. So I am going to talk to you a little bit about how I'm feeling and what I've been going through, how I've brought myself to this point with a positive attitude, if you can call it that, and sort of what I did specifically to prepare, because it's that specifically part that I wanted to share with you guys, obviously in an effort to help and maybe give you guys some content that you can relate to if you're going through breast cancer yourself. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm feeling. Well, I'm having a double mastectomy on Monday. It's currently Saturday, and so that leaves me with 2 days. And how am I feeling about that? Scared, ready. Anyone who's been through this or is going through this knows that there's just a lot of waiting. And I sort of feel like I'm an airplane that's in a little bit of a holding pattern. I'm up there. I've been told that I can land at some point. I can see the runway. It's in my future, but I'm asked to circle the runway quite a few times, but and I haven't really been given the signal to land yet. So Monday, when I have my surgery, that's the signal to land, baby. And after that, I can move on. I can move forward and be done with the surgery and move on to the healing part and just becoming healthier and healing and just getting past it. Also, the fear. A lot of it is anticipatory. A lot of it is, how am I going to feel? How bad is the pain going to be? What is the result going to be? Am I going to be happy with the first stage of reconstruction? These are all unknowns. I have no idea. I suspect that I'm mentally prepared as much as I can be, in that I'm ready. I've said goodbye to my breasts in the only way I knew how. So some specifics of what I've done to prepare myself. Well, I have stayed in touch with my support network. My support network includes a counselor. She's somebody who phones me. So far I've had 2 sessions with her since November, and let me tell you, she has really been the person to give me the nuts and bolts of what I need to do to prepare myself mentally, physically, emotionally. So I have taken all of her advice, and I would just encourage you, if you don't yet have a counselor or somebody to speak to who is impartial, objective, somebody who maybe doesn't even know you at all, but has met dozens, hundreds of patients and people and human beings that are in the same boat as you. This person advised me to, and her name is Sarah, and she's wonderful, so I'll just give her a little shout out. And she advised me to do a couple of things. She said, begin journaling. Write your journal entries using different colored pens. So anything, choose one color for bad stuff, choose another color for good stuff. So I kept it simple. I chose red for bad and blue for good. And this way you can go back into your journal and you can skip right to the good parts. You don't even have to go back and look at those red parts if you don't want to. And I choose not, well, so far I haven't gone back in and read any of my entries, but I can imagine that I will just skip right to the blue parts and remind myself of what's good and what the positive aspects of this whole thing are. The second thing that I did was I made sure every time I had a feeling or any time I felt any certain way or was in my feelings in any regard whatsoever, I talked to my husband. So if you have a partner, a family member, somebody that is your bestie, somebody that is your rock, make sure that you stay open with them and communicate all of your feelings with them. So you don't have to worry about distilling it down. You're allowed to feel all of it. So give yourself that permission and find that sounding board and use that sounding board often. Another thing that I did is I educated myself. So I tried to avoid the pitfalls of the interwebs. I tried to hone in on some of the more positive examples of people going through the realness of breast cancer. And I tried to stay away from the people and things like the forums, the written word, the lengthy posts describing a specific person's nuances of their case. I tried to really just stay away from the murky waters of that, because I felt that it was going to sort of send me maybe potentially on a little bit of a slippery slope of depression. I can tend to absorb other people's feelings and emotions. We all have the ability to feel really a lot of empathy and sympathy for others going through situations. And when you're going through your own situation, it can be almost a distraction and something to redirect your focus away from the energy it requires to keep yourself uplifted. So I chose not to spend my energy in that way, instead focusing on the YouTubers and the content providers who I found had a more anecdotal real life experience and managed to sort of explain it all in real terms. So with a smile on their face, laughing and crying, being really real, and just trust your instincts. You'll know the good ones versus the bad ones. So that's the third thing that I did. The fourth thing that I did was I went and I got professional photos taken at the last minute, mind you. Wasn't something that I thought I was going to do, but it was something that I repeatedly heard over and over from all of these previvors, survivors, and anybody that had advice regarding how to deal with an upcoming bilateral mastectomy. The advice was capture the moment in any way that you can, find a way to memorialize your breasts, your body, yourself. And so I went and did that. I had a professional photo shoot, if you will, in the boudoir style, and it actually alleviated a lot of pressure. It actually gave me a sense of relief in a way, because I felt like I was capturing something that was important to me, that was going to be lost and non-tangible. Not lost in the sense that I'll never remember what it was like, and not lost in the sense that I'll never love myself again, but just simply that I wanted evidence and proof of the me that I am today, pre-surgery. And I just have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to come into play and be very important in the future as I'm going forward and healing emotionally from this whole experience. So that was one thing that I did, and I would recommend you do it too. I guess another thing that I did was I remained very open with my son. I do have a 13-year-old boy. My husband and I share parenting. Well, we are both parents to our son, and we've just been very open with him, keeping his tender little heart in consideration, and just making sure that we explain to him the really the bare bones basics of it. But at the end of the day, having him be my supporter and hearing him say, "Mom, I believe in you, and you got this, and we're gonna get through it, and you're strong," and that whole thing, like hearing that from him in his little 13-year-old way has been immensely helpful. I felt when I was diagnosed that there was a tragedy behind it, and a lot of that was because I have this role as a mother to my son, and when you're facing your mortality in that way and you have just so much to lose, it can really put your life into perspective. And so sharing that aspect of my life with our son and hearing his words of strength and his words of encouragement have just really, really helped drive my motivation to just get beyond this and understand that life after bilateral mastectomy and reconstruction is going to go on. This surgery will likely be curative for me. I will likely be breast cancer free after Monday. So this is really, really good news that I just wanted to share with everybody. I keep myself focused on that as well, that walking out of my surgery on Monday, I will be likely cured. So having said that, those are a few of the things, maybe there were 5 that I just listed, the 5 things that I did to help get myself through this waiting period before my mastectomy on Monday. So I will keep you guys posted. If you have any questions or comments about your own experience with mastectomy, you're either have already had it done or it's upcoming for you, please put your comments down below. I will endeavor to respond to all of your comments and feedback. And of course, I'll keep you posted in an upcoming video post-operatively to let you know how everything goes, let you know a bit more about how I'm feeling about the first stage of my reconstruction, which will be tissue expanders. I'll let you know in an upcoming video how the pathology results are, whether they come back positive or negative, and whether or not I'll be required to have any more treatment and what that treatment will look like. Again, post your comments and questions below, and as usual, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.